As promised, we're back with part 2. This is the Anderson Valley Brewing Company presents the 25th San Francisco Safari. 25 San Francisco Safari tournaments down, and this is going down as one of the best. We've got a tight battle. We've got James Proctor is still leading. Gregg Barsby has cut the lead to 2 back, and Shasta Criss shooting a 5 down after the front 11 is only 4 back from the leader. Doug Jensen struggling a little bit. He's going to hang in there. We just know it. He's 8 back from the leader right now, and we're going to jump into some really cool footage. Once again, Sean Jack is here, our tournament director extraordinaire. What'd you think of that front 9?
That was a lot of fun. I gotta say, I've never seen the course look so good on camera. It's beautiful.
I'll definitely second that opinion, and let's get started. Let's see some more disc golf.
Yeah, I'm psyched. Of course.
The C-Pin, 415 down the canyon. Like you said, there's a tough wind coming down this way, and it's hard for righties to reach it on that hyzer. It's actually a little bit easier for a forehand or a lefty flex shot to ante out and carry out on that distance. It'll be interesting to see how these pros attack this hole today.
Yeah, it's completely blind, too.
And we're going to have Shasta Criss, who is hot. He's got a 4-birdie streak coming into this hole. And he'll be the wind dummy right here. And he's going to get it just a little bit too flat. Be in the hillside.
I like the big forehand here. A lot of Hyzer high. Let it turn over, glide for days. Flex that a little early, though.
And it's kind of hard to see from that angle, but that is a bomb. To get it that far up the hill and have it hang out, that's massive.
Ooh, that was crushed.
This is massive. This is a big-time hyzer
that
right
was
here.
a big shot. He parked the B-pin.
That is
going to have a 40-footer.
That is easily 500 feet of power to get that hyzer to stay on that line
Doug
for
Jensen
that long.
representing himself right there, though, with the forward roll. He'll have an easy 3.
And that's a great shot as well.
Wait, who is this guy throwing another forehand?
2 forehands in the same tournament. What do you think about that? Barsby's going to pitch up. That should be an easy
tap
3
and
for
3. Same with Doug.
Doug makes a nice run at it right there. And Shasta.
Ooh. Tough bogey there.
That's a tough bogey.
And James, he was still out from where James. This is for birdie here. You don't see this very often on this hole. Ah, that's too bad.
I know of a very, very few people that have birdied this hole, especially in tournament play, and they all have about 1,000 rating next to their name at least.
A few months ago, I saw Danny Kerfeld park it with a forehand. It's the only park I've ever seen.
All right, so we're going to see a bogey there from Shasta, unfortunately, but we're going to move on to hole 13. What's the trick of this in the C position, Sean?
This hole in the C, it's only 238, but it plays much longer. Probably plays like 300. It's heavily, heavily guarded with trees. A lot of people throw fairway drivers on a straight hyzer and try to nick skip. I personally, and a lot of other people too, would throw a forehand on hyzer and try to weave your way through the trees. Proctor's throwing that righty backhand.
And he actually throws a
that was
wide
a little
route.
lucky kick at the end. That was a good shot.
That's a great kick. He would have had a putt, but he definitely got a much easier putt out of that. And there's one of those guardian trees that you have to navigate. And I apologize, we missed Barsby's drive. He is going to be off to the right side of the camera with a long
that's
look.
a good shot by Shasta there.
It's another similar route to what Proctor took, and he just got
and
the
you can see if you
skip.
hit early on this hole, it's not the easiest up and down. There's a lot of trees to weave through.
And here's Barsby. He's off to the right, almost pin high. Catches a leaf. And here's Shasta with a long look for birdie. In
Bang!
Tight
Ooh,
fairway.
nice putt.
Stays in.
Taking that bogey and turning into a par.
And he's got 5 out of the last 6 holes on birdies. Making a charge right now. And it doesn't get any easier than that.
No, good birdie for Proctor there, taking a stroke back.
Barsby's going to lose one. And Doug will take a 4. Moving on to hole 14.
This hole is tough. This hole in the C-pin can be evil.
Destroyed me. I can't even lie about it. This is a tough hole. We've got a Mando to the right of the first tree that you're going to see, so you can't take the big skip down the road. The path on the left does play OB.
Beyond.
And beyond. You've got to get down and then hyzer back.
But not too much.
It's a very, very precise shot. This is one of the most technical holes on the course, even though it's one of the more open ones, as the basket sits maybe 10 feet from out of bounds.
I would say after hole 5, maybe 17, this hole has the most variance after any of the hole. Because people will do it, and people will take a 7 as well.
And that shot, Shasta is lucky to have hit that leaf. That was heading straight out of bounds like a rocket. And here's the experience of Gregg Barsby.
Nice touch there, Barsby. That looks pretty good.
If that is not inside 20 feet, then I have no idea how to play this hole at all. That was a fantastic shot. See if Doug Jensen can follow it up.
You can get lucky in this hole by sawing off the inside gap, but you shouldn't try to do that. You know, that's actually fine.
The branch probably helped him, as there actually is out of bounds long. It's very hard to find, but it's an area that they're trying to grow plants back up in because it's such a heavily used park. So we string it OB. None of these players have found it. And as you can see, Barsby is maybe 15 feet from the pin.
Oh, no.
That's the danger of the C pin. When you run that putt, you're going to risk that, especially, I guess Proctor felt like he had to do it with Barsby being parked to not lose 2 strokes.
But he did.
He ends up losing the 2 strokes with the out-of-bounds penalty. There'll be a couple tap-ins there for par. And we're going to move on to hole 15.
Let's not talk about this hole too much, Jamie. I had a tough year on this one.
Oh, what happened here, Sean?
I actually broke my arm on this hole on January 7th of 2014 after absolutely parking the C-pin, which they're playing right now.
He committed to the follow-through. He has the x-rays to prove it, and he has a disc now with the arm x-ray of the broken bone.
That was a beautiful drive by Gregg Barsby right there.
And that probably looks similar to the one that cost you the hospital visit, but you're going to see a few nice drives here. Shasta with that nice low-line
Hyzer
laser that he's known for throwing.
That was another good shot.
And here's Doug. Doug has a really nice amount of control. He likes to throw this little slight flip up and just ride it out nice and straight.
Getting the next skip, maybe the roll of the basket.
Yep. That's exactly how you need to play a hole like this. When it slopes left to right on the hill, when you're throwing that righty hyzer, you can just get that nice little skip and roll.
Hopefully that stays in for him.
That's going to be close to out of bounds. He's going to challenge it. We'll have to wait and see how it looks. He will be in bounds. The out of bounds string is right by the tree to his right.
Ooh, nice putt. That could have been a 2-stroke swing right there.
That's a big putt right there, especially after giving up 2 to Gregg on the last hole. And he's already had a couple real nice putts in this round. Shasta showing the putter off as well. And that makes 6 of the last 8 that he's gotten. Barsby with a nice putt.
Wow, the lead card's showing off their stuff right there. That was a good star frame.
They definitely made this hole look a lot easier than it is with the nuances of the hill and the wind. Now they got to climb this hill in reverse. So now the fairway's going to slope right to left. Hole 16 in the C-pin. They're going almost back up to the tee pad that they just threw from.
Yeah, listed at 289. It might play longer than the 393 of hole 15.
You have to get it up the hill. And this part, because of the slope and because of all the other traffic that gets through this course, this doesn't have as much grass on it. So you've got a very fast green. Barsby kicks a tree trying to come in on the hyzer, and he's going to have a very tough look.
Yeah, and talking about the grass, next weekend we actually have the Hardly Strictly Blue Argus Festival coming in. This becomes literally 3,000 to 4,000 people will be sitting on this fairway for the stage that's in Marks Meadow.
Shasta puts a very nice touch right up there, and Doug saws it off a little bit. He's going to be over by the shorter pins with a tough look. And here's the kid. Looking for the skip.
Oh, sit there.
Getting the skip.
Nice shot.
Parking the hole.
Yeah.
In
probably threw a fairway
fashion.
driver, too.
Barsby does not want to lose a stroke right here.
Oh, my God.
And that is, it's hard to tell from the angle of the camera, but he was hyzer putting around that tree. He did not have a clean look at the basket. And that's just a heartbreaker to fall out as he has to give one of the strokes that he just took from James Proctor right back to him. And we're going to climb the hill. Hole 17 in the C-pin. This is one of the tougher pins on the course.
This hole's wicked. It's downhill. I think it's over 4. I think it's the longest hole on the course, actually. At 441. It's probably playing 370, 380. But it is tight the whole way. There's OB on the right. There's OB on the left.
And the large tree that you see Shasta's disc flying at, the pin is behind there.
Oh, good last kick.
He got a nice little lucky kick because he was hyzering out. There are 2 routes. Some of the bigger armed righties like to try to go around the right side of the tree, essentially playing down 18's fairway and then hooking in. And that's too high and too Hyzer.
That could skip out of bounds, too.
There is out of bounds.
JFK's right to the left.
Yeah, hopefully he won't find it there. And here's Barsby
Ooh,
looking to
that.
take a stroke. Just missed it. If he had beaten that tree, that was a park job in the making. And we'll see if the local knowledge helps Doug at all.
Ooh, that looks like a good drive.
This is looking
Ah.
just inside, and you can see why this is one of the toughest holes on the back nine, especially in this position, because just a slight variance, you could throw a 98%
Wow.
good shot
Sit.
and still not.
That was a
have
beautiful upshot.
great upshot again. Doug Jensen saving himself some strokes, bringing the putter out.
Was he out over here?
He was in bounds, just barely. He was able to stretch
Wow,
out
that was a beautiful up and down.
from his knee across his body, Annie with the touch.
Shasta had that 70-footer that's hard to go for because it slopes down behind the basket and you can three-putt it. That was a great putt by Gregg to get the save his par.
He does save the par. James will need to do the same to not lose a stroke.
And he does.
Ooh, just stays in, like they say. No pictures on the scorecard. Threes all around on hole 17.
Threes all around this hole is fine. I mean, this hole is difficult. It's kind of a bonus birdie if you get it.
Hole 18. We're going to play downhill again. We're going to play to the C pin. And this is another example of using what we're fortunate to have some elevation in the park despite being in the middle of a city. You've got to play down, and you've got trees covering the high gaps. You've got to worry about the wind as you're throwing that disc down the hill, and then you've got to get back up the hill onto an embankment that's been another project by Patrick Brown and his crew.
Yeah, he was a little early right there.
And he got a bad kick.
Ooh, and that's
that
out of
will
bounds.
be out of bounds.
That's out of bounds with a tough spot, too.
Over to the right, you do not want to be. You can see how thick it is from the tee's angle.
That looks a little early as well.
It is a little
It's
early.
tough. You have to hyzer flip it late. That's the nuance of this hole.
But you can see that the righties are choosing the backhand route just because you need to try to get it to flex out and stay up in the air long enough to get up the wall.
Yeah, you know, I've never seen someone throw righty forehand and really park the hole. They end up being short oftentimes.
The trees are just in the right position to block those
That
forehand
looks like
shots.
it's going to flex out a little bit. No?
How about
that was
the boy?
a great shot. Wow.
Doug Jensen showing up and showing the guys how to throw this hole. He's the only one that's going to have a legitimate birdie look.
Shasta threw a decent up and down, but a bad roll away. This would be a long birdie putt.
Barsby's going to run it, and there is danger back there. It falls off quickly, and just like we saw on hole 8, there could be those little gnarly, twisted trees that can block your clean lie. And that's a par putt that just didn't have enough gas. And here's Doug Jensen.
Nice birdie, Doug.
Sneaking in the tray, but showing him how it's done nonetheless. Grabbing a 2. That's going to be a par for Barsby and Proctor. And an unfortunate 5.
Now we get to go across the street. These are the holes that we had specially permitted for the tournament this year. It's called the par course. You'll see some exercise equipment on the holes.
And this is what gives the Safari its name. This tournament long ago started out before there was a permanent course in the city as an object course right around the area that the course is now.
So this is a par 4. They have to go. They're essentially connecting 2 holes that they played the first 2 days. Up and over the hill. There's a Mando right. You can see the white sign. This hole, I believe, is listed at 510. And it's essentially 2 good placement shots. I can't see anyone eagling this unless they threw the perfect righty forehand that glided for days and then flexed out.
I'll talk a little bit about the decision to turn what was a whole long set of a bunch of par 3s into 3 par 4s for Sunday. From a tournament directing perspective, what is the added challenge of that?
Championship. I wanted we played the long course at Golden Gate, and we played these holes last year, and they were all greatly designed holes, but they were sort of tweeners. So this year I decided to stretch them out a little bit to make them true par 4s and give the players the experience of getting a 3 and being satisfied. And
you can see here, James Proctor is
I did not
going to kick the first tree. That's right about where the second tee pad was. As Sean said, this is basically combining 2 holes into 1.
That was a good up.
And he's going to get up and be able to save the 4. Doug Hyzers that shot out just a little bit. That's a long look from
he wanted to throw that
birdie
flatter
right there. And this is this par 4 is not really eagleable. This is even for these guys, going up and over that hill with the Mando in play really makes you want to play it for a birdie, and you've got to get off the tee well to even have that look. Shasta's going to take a long...
Yeah, this hole's hard. You see really good golfers struggling to get a 3. Oh!
How about Doug Jensen?
From long distance.
He's starting to putt like Shasta was putting in the beginning of the round, and he's making up strokes on him right now.
Oh, no.
And that's a heartbreaker. And the mark of a true experienced professional. Barsby doesn't let his emotions get the better of him. He goes and taps out. There's still 3 holes to play, and he has 3 strokes he needs to make up right here. But hey, anything can happen when you've got the talent level that he has.
This hole, I'm psyched to see these guys. I actually came out from Tournament Central to watch them throw. I designed this one to be a true par 4, 520, but actually give some of the bigger arms an opportunity to get the eagle, because it's plays slightly downhill, and we all know that some of these guys can throw over 500 feet.
We're looking to the west as you can see the sun rays beating down. There is a headwind here, so you can see these discs riding out and getting the big distance.
Oh, he needed not to hit that tree.
Just a
And
little
the biggest
nick.
arm.
And here's one of these power hyzer flips that you're talking about. Very,
If that goes clean, he might have a long putt.
not unlike Simon Lizotte.
That was a big shot.
That was a big shot. He likes to throw those big, powerful hyzer flips and take some overstable plastic and just flip it up into these nice gliding routes.
Oh.
Shasta just gets high, catches the witch's fingers upstairs, and knocks down.
He's still going to be about almost 300 feet short.
Barsby looks like he misses the line a little bit. He leaves it a little left, but that headwind lets him ride out, and he's going to be down there by
full flight.
Proctor. Shasta with an upshot, weaving
Nice
it between
controlled Andy
trees.
backhand. That was a beautiful golf shot right there.
And that's one of the prettiest shots to watch, I agree. In my opinion, watching putters fly,
Oh, Doug flipped that over. He didn't read the wind right.
it can be tricky.
Look how
Here's
beautiful that is.
Barsby running an eagle off the cage. You know he wants it. He had a chance to take some strokes back,
He just can't get any breaks.
and you can see he's frustrated there. He's
Proctor's
trying.
got this downhill look for eagle.
Wow.
Ooh, he left that shorter than he wanted to.
He definitely did, even though he was trying to lay up. I think he knows the situation right now, and he also knows that Barsby's doing everything he can to try to get that win.
If you see that big, beautiful field back there, that's called the Polo Fields. That's where they have a lot of the concerts in Golden Gate Park, like outside lands.
It is big and beautiful. Polo fields in the background. Barsby spits out of another heartbreaker, and he's going to lose another stroke to James Proctor.
Yeah, he made a good putt there from that upshot. He threw a little too short.
4 back with 2 to go. Shasta Criss is also going to miss his birdie putt and take a 4. And we're going to an uphill par 4. This is a little shorter by distance, but just as much of an arm needed.
I think it might play longest out of all of those 3 holes you just saw. It's way uphill. To get on top of the hill with distance is huge.
And the tricky thing about this is the wind swirls and changes direction.
That was a good shot. If you would have thrown that a little bit higher.
And he definitely read the wind right there and got it just up the hill, which is the hardest part. You're going to see these guys, when you get it high up like that, there's a wind going left to right, but from the tee, the wind is going right to left. So you're kind of at the half of a tornado here, and you're trying to figure out not only the release angle and the height, but the right amount of power. And Shasta's going to kick off a tree. Barsby needs a big shot right here.
A little early.
That'll work.
But he did get down
Full
there.
flight.
He got clean, so we're going to see where he is. And Doug's going to take the inside route.
That looks like a pretty good upshot.
That's going to be a very nice upshot right there from there.
These guys are throwing blind too.
Blind hole, a tough uphill lie. It's much harder to throw when your lead foot is raised above your back foot.
See, a hole like this shows you when you can throw farther, it helps. Proctor had an easy up and down with the putter. Oh, Barsby, the eagle putt, he can't get it. Guy can't get a break.
I don't think I've seen more shots hit the basket from outside 100 feet in a single round than from Barsby's round this tournament. It just, like I said, it goes to show how much he wanted
Ooh, that was a great putt
to
by Doug
get
Jensen.
strokes. That is
This guy's sneaking back in. That was another birdie.
sneaking in is the, like you said, dark horse of the tournament. He's got a solid game.
Ooh, Shasta missed the putt for par.
Shasta's going to give Doug Jensen another stroke. And we're going in to the final hole. hole 22 in the meadow. It all comes down to this. The gallery of everybody who's already finished and all the AM players are watching. Tournament Central's right there. You're in view of a bunch of joggers and pedestrians who are stopping and watching this. And how cool is that?
I can't wait, man. This is our home right here. This is Mark's Meadow. This is where we hang out all the time. You get to see guys crush the whole thing.
This hole's going to play about
he was a little low there.
And he wanted a bigger one.
Yeah, Proctor could almost get there.
You know these guys want to show off, especially in front of the crowd, and throw a big bomb. There is OB to the right, which actually would go back up onto the back nine of the course. Doug Jensen plays a great placement shot.
That guy's
there.
just smooth, man. He doesn't throw super far, but he doesn't really make mistakes.
Barsby wants this
Bang.
one. He gets a little bit over on it. I remember seeing 2 or 3 years ago, Barsby did to this hole. Got just about pin high.
Yeah, he might be the farthest one. That was a good shot for Shasta.
There's a bomb from Shasta Criss. He's sitting nice and pretty. Barsby was in bounds here. He even had you come check it.
Yeah, this shot is kind of ridiculous. This is 300 feet, blind with a Buzz SS, and he almost threw it in and is absolutely parked. Speaking of parked, watch this. That might be inside the pedestal.
No easier way to get a birdie than to tap it in. Great way to finish the
Proctor
tournament.
trying to show it for the crowd right here, I think. He runs this a little long, and guess what?
There's OB back there.
Yeah.
So this is going to make it interesting. Proctor will be putting from 4 from a tough OB lie.
Nice shot, Shasta.
And just going to miss the chains on one of the brand new DGA Mach X.
Yeah, thanks to DGA for donating this basket. We can give that away in the raffle.
Big shout out to them. They came through clutch. Some really awesome Giants themed t-shirts that say disc golf on them, a DGA basket. Gregg Barsby tapping for birdie. And Proctor taking a 5. Cutting.
Doug Jensen. Great finish, Doug.
Great finish. James Proctor will take a 5. It will not matter. He will take home the title. 25th San Francisco Safari champion, taking the win from Gregg Barsby by 2 strokes.
Nice shooting, Proctor. The 218 downs the first 2 days were kind of ridiculous, and that gave him a big cushion. He held on.
He went Ricky Wasaki on it. He built a lead early and just never gave it up.
Yep.
And I had a lot of fun at this tournament. It was an honor to be able to play and film this and put it up for everybody to see. I know you had fun running it.
Oh, it was amazing. It was a lot of work. I had amazing assistance from so many volunteers. If you give me a second, I wouldn't mind giving some shout-outs to Audrey Yang, who coordinated the whole staff. I want to give a shout to our San Francisco Disc Golf Club officers, John Toby, our president, Dennis Condos, our vice president, Rob Byers, who kicked ass this weekend, our treasurer, and P. Walsh, Patrick Walsh, for running the store. You guys are well appreciated. I want to thank to all the sponsors. We had almost 60 of them. It was an amazing event. What a great way to celebrate our 25th.
And you can tell with the number of people that love to be involved with this tournament, this is going to be around for another 25 years at least. It was an honor to do the commentary and to work with you on this thing, Sean Jack. I'll see you next year, man.
Thanks, Jamie.